I was thinking of cutting a fringe in. I could cut the rest of my hair this short and then within 2 years it would be like this long. I hope. In this video, I'm going to be doing a curly haircut. I'm going to cut my hair today. I've always found that DIY haircuts work best for me, and I guess you want to learn how to cut your curly hair too. I'm all for learning, and that's why I've partnered with Skillshare for today's video, and we'll talk more about that a bit later on in this video. I won't pretend to be an expert. I'm not a professional hairstylist, but I have been cutting my own curly hair for my entire life. There have been good cuts and there have been bad cuts. I've practiced on myself so that you can learn from my mistakes. Honestly, I don't really know if anyone knows the best method to cut curly hair. I think it definitely comes down to preference. Everyone's just trying to figure it out. For example, diva cuts were once hailed as the best curly haircut method that everyone was lusting over, but it seems like lately people are often disappointed with how it turned out because they realize it's a lot more drastic than they thought it was going to be and a lot more like choppy because the hairstylists cut the hair while the hair is dry to get the best shape. It does mean that diva cuts can end up with some really interesting results, like after you've washed your hair and styled it again. Basically, curly haircuts are never going to be as straightforward as straight haircuts. No pun intended. My mum has pin straight hair. Like when she wakes up, it looks like she's already straightened it. She's literally like woke up like this. So for her, the most important thing is to have a very precise and straight cut because any imperfections are going to be very noticeable. Whereas with curly hair, you can get away with those imperfections, but it's very important, depending on your preference, to get the best shape. In the past, I've gone for something a bit rounder. I've tried to chop off the sides so that it wasn't so triangle and blocky. And a few years ago, I started doing the unicorn method, like religiously. So lately, I've been seeing pictures of my hair from behind that my friends have taken of me, and I noticed that the shape of my hair was not how it used to be. I have a very prominent V line in the shape of my hair, so my hair is going into a deep triangle at the back. I realize that's not really what I want, and I want to soften out that V into more of a U shape. And if you guys can relate to that, then definitely thumbs up this video. Are you ready? I'm gonna start on freshly washed hair. I just really want to quickly, whoa, I'm talking faster than I'm thinking. I just really want to quickly show you some things that I'm using. So I'm using a detangling brush. These are obviously going to be so important. Your hair needs to be fully detangled before you try to cut it, because if you're cutting tangled hair, the tangle kind of like reduces the length. You can't see like the true length of your hair and you're not going to get the kind of cut that you want at all. So you have to fully detangle it. This is a wet haircut. So if your hair starts to dry out during the process, you're going to need like a water bottle or just some way of getting your hair wet easily. And then I have this funky little device that I actually use when I straighten my hair, but I have a feeling that it's going to come in really handy. I feel like a crab. I'm like, we're going to need a hair tie for this haircut and some hair cutting scissors. So I always recommend that you use actual hair cutting scissors because these tend to just actually be sharper and more precise than other types of scissors like craft scissors. Definitely don't use any kind of scissors that are blunt or just sticky or anything like that because they can actually do more harm than good. With all that being said, let's do the first section of the haircut. So this part of the haircut, you should all know it very well. Push all of your hair forward. And that's why it really helps to detangle your hair first, because look how easy I'm brushing my hair forward right now. Oh, it feels so good. Wow. And if you've got really long and really thick hair like me, then you'll know that you're done because you'll look like a unicorn and your neck will be sufficiently sore. So you just want it to be really sleek like this. And you have to tie it central. Otherwise you're not going to get an even haircut. Just decide how much you want to cut off of your hair and tie it there.
I suddenly felt like this video needed a disclaimer. So basically this is a wet haircut, as you can see, and it works best if you have the same kind of curl pattern all over your head. If you feel like you have different curl patterns on your head, some areas are tighter than others, some areas are looser than others, which is kind of common with curly hair, then it would actually be best to cut your hair when it's dry.
I've seen people cut below the hair tie and above the hair tie. And I actually think that I'm going to do mine, I'm going to do it right below first, and then I'm going to see how I'm feeling and then maybe do a bit more. I've cut about 2.5 inches off of my hair. It looks like a little makeup brush. You see what I mean? I just want to cut a little bit more off. So I've tied it again and I'm just gonna cut it again. It's actually very hard to cut, but I'm just gonna keep going and try to go in a straight line. And if this feels kind of brutal at this point, then you're not the only one feeling like that. Just keep going, keep it in a straight line. My hair looking like a little stippling brush. Now we can release this and brush it all back. My hair feels short. Okay, so just bring your hair back to a downwards position. Okay, my hair is definitely starting to dry out a bit, so I'm gonna spray it down. Just taking care not to cause tangles, because obviously like we flip it up and then we flip it back down again. It does have the potential to cause some tangles, so just being careful. I just wanted to come up here just so that I can show you how that haircut turns your hair into a V shape. So it's actually very prominent. Basically, I don't want the V shape anymore. I would just want it to be a lot softer. So I would like it to just be rounder. It does obviously mean cutting more hair, so my hair is going to be shorter. So the V shape means that you can have lots of layers in your haircut whilst retaining a lot of the length, because a lot of the length stays in this V shape, and when you bring your hair to the front, you're going to be able to see that length in the front as well as having the layers. However, I just would rather have a softer curve at the back now, which does obviously mean taking some length off, and you will still have layers, but you'll have less length and you won't have the V. Put my jumper back on because it was getting cold. So you're gonna want to bring your hair back around to the front again. Gather all of the hair that is the longest. That is what's giving me the V. I'm just cutting them flat. I'm still going to keep a bit because obviously I still want to have layers. I don't want to get rid of my layers now. I just don't want to have so much of a V. So I'm chopping. It's going to go. This, yes, that's perfect. I've got a tiny bit that I want to cut, like literally a teeny tiny bit. I just want to cut that. And let's take a look at that from the back. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see now that the bottom of my hair is a lot smoother, a lot rounder, and not so much of a V. But sadly my hair is quite a lot shorter than it was, so that's kind of sad. But I am happier with the shape now, so that's good. So I'm going to go away and style my hair so that we can see the final result of this curly haircut. In the meantime, I'd like to talk about today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. So Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes ranging from photography, business management, crafts, drawing. I've been trying to gain some more hair care skills over there, like learning how to make my own shampoo. So I was watching this class in particular. In this video, DIY queen Sarah Habelson talks you through how to make your own shampoo, what goes into it, and how the ingredients are sustainable and how it's great for your hair and body. I've learned so much and it's furthered me in so many areas of my life, like hair care, but also in things like yoga and in my business management. I've honestly just learned so much in so many areas that have genuinely bettered my life, and I want that for you as well. So if any of you are interested in gaining some new skills, then the first 1,000 people to click the link in the description will receive a free month of Skillshare Premium. And remember to share the link with your friends and family if you feel like they'd also benefit from that free month of premium membership. I was thinking of cutting a fringe in. So if I was going to cut a fringe, I'd probably cut it like here. It just goes to show how much my fringe has grown though, because like 2 years ago I had a fringe that was maybe like this long and it's grown this much. Which makes me think like maybe I shouldn't be so scared about cutting the rest of my hair so short, because I could cut the rest of my hair this short and then within 2 years it would be like this long. I hope. Who knows though, who can say what would happen. Maybe I'll do like a little bit. Maybe I should just quit while on my head and just even it out on this side real quick, because I took a tiny bit off. Oh my gosh, I look like Bloody Mary. Ooh. Don't say that in front of the mirror. Just leave it there for now. I'll do a fringe another day, not today. It's feeling bouncy. It's looking good in my opinion. I feel like I got a lot more volume today. And that's funny because I didn't take that much off. I didn't expect my hair to get shaped like this. So I just love that it's going around like this.
I think that the V-line is much less prominent than before. Like, it's definitely still dipping down, but it's now giving me y=x² rather than V. I'm happy with it, but I think next time I will shave a bit more off of the bottom, and maybe I will in the future start working towards actually growing my layers out. I definitely won't level my hair out at the moment because you can see that my top layers are actually quite short, but I am actually happy with this haircut.
So there you have it. That is my updated curly haircut for 2021. That's everything from me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.